the bottom line is that when you're a corporation and you have to think about, particularly large entities that are publicly traded, you have to think about managing the stock price as much as you have to think about growing and transforming the business. And a lot of times those are sort of codependencies that are at odds with each other. And so what I see a lot is corporate innovation is really good at what I would call incremental innovation, taking an existing product and like slightly tweaking it, offering new product improvements, new feature improvements. And it's supported culturally in the corporation because it advances a known revenue stream, and it can be measured by the public markets. Whereas the disruption that's happening is really on the spectrum of transformational innovation, which is more new product lines, new ways of doing business that completely require process, cultural, significant changes that are harder for a large organization to embrace. And so with those bookends of incremental versus transformational, I think the companies that we've seen, the infamous Blockbuster got taken down by Netflix kind of thing, it's the transformational innovation that's causing this massive disruption. And yet there's some really solid companies that are progressive about the way they're moving incremental innovation. And then in the middle, we talk a lot about adjacent innovation as kind of the slightly incremental. It's touching an existing product line, but it's doing it in a new way. Traditionally, you'll see about 50% of an R&D budget of that $700 billion number spent on incremental and about 25% on transformational. And I think the companies that are doing it well, you're seeing them invest more heavily on transformational. So I like that framework as a way to think about who's doing what, and also as a way to think about where do those budgets live and who does that work, because incremental innovation happens in the business unit, its decisions are in the P&L of the business unit, whereas transformational often happens in R&D or the corporate innovation initiative, the accelerator, that kind of thing. So they live in two different places. And I think getting better about bringing those together is where there's huge opportunity.